it's really important when you're going to buy a house, whether it's the first time or your second time or your umpteenth time, you really need to get pre-qualified. And the reason being is because it's not just about what's the max dollar amount that you can buy, but it's about your monthly budget and what your monthly budget is going to be. With that in mind, you just need to be aware, so here's an example. When I first was looking at homes back in 2006, right before the crash, and I was told I was qualified for up to $600,000. Looking at what I was going to pay on a monthly basis, that was more important, because then it was like, oh, it's going to be $1,600 a month, and I was like, oh, okay, well, that's different. So focusing on what you can pay on a monthly basis as opposed to the bigger number, and you want to keep it close to what you're paying currently in rent, I would say, or on your current mortgage. Maybe you bump it up a little bit if you're going to get more of a house, but that's probably what your comfort level you want to focus on, is where you're at with that. But talk to a realtor and find out some lenders, or if you have a local lender that you know, like your bank or someone that's a friend that's a mortgage broker or whatnot, then talk to them about getting pre-qualified. I have a lot of great people that I work with, and I could definitely refer you as well. But you want to work with someone that knows the market, knows where you're at, and understands how to help you, as opposed to just someone on an 800 number. I think what makes a good mortgage broker in my book is someone that is on top of their game. They tell you where you're at every step of the way. Because when you get a mortgage, you're not just gonna sign one document. You're gonna fill out an application, and I don't know this like the back of my hand like a lender would, but you're gonna fill out an application, and then they're gonna ask you for a series of documents. And the best lenders that I like to work with are the ones that tell you up front, here's all the documents I need. Not ones that will tell you, oh, I need this document, and then 2 days later, oh, well, now we need this document and we need to get it notarized. So you have to go to the bank and get it notarized for me. And then 3 days later, oh, and now I need this one notarized. So now you've got to go back to the bank, and now they're wasting your time and your energy. I like to work with people that are buttoned up, that are gonna use my clients' time wisely. Someone that can, for me, tells me where we're at every step of the way. I'm still waiting on this, I'm still waiting on that, and where I can work as a team with them. And if they can tell me like, hey, I'm waiting on XYZ from ABC client, and I'm like, okay, let me follow up with them. Hey, so-and-so, can you get me XY? It looks like the lender still needs ABC. Can you still send that over to them? And we kind of hold each other accountable to make sure that that information gets to the client, that the client needs to get in, gets in efficient time. Once I'm working on a loan with somebody, I usually am in touch with them at least 2 to 3 times a week, finding out what's going on with this client's loan and where they're at in the process. Once we've gotten a system in place and we know where they're at with the loan, then I don't get as much communication. As closer we get towards the closing, we're gonna start picking it back up again. So it's probably 2 to 3 times a week, if not daily, that we talk to find out what's going on with the loan. Yeah, there was one lender that I worked with at one point that it was actually when I was first in the business, and I had a lady that was buying a condo. And I had told the lender right up front that this condo was not FHA approved. And he had gone to her and was going down the path of doing an FHA approval, which FHA means 3.5% down usually. And whereas conventional is 5% down. Well, she didn't have 5% to go down. And he knew that in the beginning. He should have known what she had available. She didn't communicate those financial things to me, and I didn't know that up front, and this was when I was the second buyer that I ever worked with. So I now learned the lesson that I asked those questions up front to make sure how they would be paying for it and all those things. But he was bound and determined to get her FHA approved, but this condo association was not gonna give an FHA approval. So we got to the closing table. There's a stage where we call the letter of commitment, which is usually about a week to 10 days prior to closing, where the bank finally gives you the okay and says, you're approved to buy. And he told me the day after, which is one of the reasons why I was not thrilled with him, because he told me the day after that it was supposed to be giving me notification that, oh, she's not approved. Well, we passed commitment, now she has to buy the home. So not only did he screw me over, but he screwed her over. But I found a loophole. I got lucky. I found a loophole because we hadn't gotten the resale certificate on the condo yet. And with a resale certificate, what we do is the buyer has like 10 days to review it, and she can approve it or deny it. So she had to deny it. So that was our way to get out of it. So if it weren't for that, then she would have been committed to buying something for $300,000 when she didn't have the money to do it.